Sonic is a blue hedgehog who has been living on Earth for the past 10 years. He was forced to leave his home planet long ago because of all the dangerous people who were after his incredible speed powers. But after accidentally unleashing a great amount of energy on Earth, Sonic is now hunted by the evil Dr. Robotnik. Sonic needs the help of local cop Tom Wachowski to find the rings that will transport him to safety. I suppose I should mention the drama surrounding this film, shouldn't I? Alright, I'm sure most of you already know about it, but here's a quick refresher. The initial trailer unveiled a less than appealing design for the blue blur. Public outcry led to a delay in release to redesign Sonic, and these are the results. Now, I don't like the idea of studios listening to fans and changing things based on their demands. It squanders artistic vision and does not show confidence, amongst other things. But in this case, it was the right move, because this? Let's just move on. If you've seen any of the trailers, then you're probably ready to call this movie the latest half-hearted video game adaptation, or yet another vapid family feature with a CGI companion. But hold your horses, because Sonic the Hedgehog is neither of these things. Instead, it's a fun, lighthearted adventure that respects its roots and works for viewers of all ages. I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. I had a rather good time with this one. The story boils down to a race to get to San Francisco first. Sonic needs to get there because that's where his rings are that will teleport him to the next safe planet, while Dr. Robotnik is trying to get there first to capture the speedy hedgehog. The film also functions under the road trip formula, and though it's nothing groundbreaking, it handles this approach well. Overall, this isn't a completely original story, and this is acknowledged, but the movie's able to imbue it with enough personality that everything turns out fine. Voicing the video game icon is Ben Schwartz of Parks and Recreation fame. This is the first time he's voiced Sonic, and I'd say he does a bang-up job. Some of his intonations are a tad awkward, but for the most part, Schwartz nails it, giving us a new version of Sonic that is still recognizably Sonic. James Marsden, who's no stranger to these types of films, plays Tom Wachowski, the sheriff of a small town who wants to join the San Francisco Police Department. Marsden serves as the straight man of the Sonic-Tom duo, and he does well with the material given to him. However, the showstopper here is Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, channeling the manic energy that made him so famous in the 90s. Carrey cranks it up to 11 for this outing, going balls to the wall bonkers as the mad scientist, often leading to some of the movie's biggest laughs. Truthfully, it is a bit too much at times. An out-of-place dance segment comes to mind. But otherwise, this is an enthusiastically ludicrous performance that is endlessly entertaining. While I wouldn't call this a faithful portrayal of the Dr. Robotnik from the games, not by a long shot, it's singular and enjoyable. Speaking of the games, this picture goes about its references in a much more respectful manner than I ever could have expected. You won't find any shoehorned name drops or lazy callbacks here. Instead, it's all worked in quite cleverly. From the Badnik button on Robotnik's control panel to the flower Sonic finds in the first scene, everything is carefully placed, and most of the references are blink and you miss it moments. They even included the Sonic meme. That's just great. And I can't tell you how happy I was that they went with the name Robotnik instead of the more well-known Eggman. And if you're a fan of the latter moniker, they even managed to incorporate it later on in a very natural way. The most obvious reference might be Sonic's next destination, however. Now that Earth isn't safe, he has to go to the Mushroom Planet, and Sonic is not afraid of detailing his hatred for mushrooms. This works twofold, as it could be referring to Mushroom Hill Zone from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or, perhaps more likely, as a jab at his Nintendo counterpart and eternal rival who resides in the Mushroom Kingdom. I know I touched on the controversy earlier, but the visual effects department involved with this film really does deserve all the credit in the world for working so hard to redesign this beloved character so fast. It really goes a long way, and the effort has not gone unnoticed. Sonic looks fantastic, and knowing how much time and money was spent trying to make this movie the best version of itself does enhance the experience, I feel. Now, the film isn't perfect, not even close. As a comedy, a lot of the humor lands, but of course, there are jokes aimed specifically at kids that won't register with adults, and there are some dated gags. It's fine, it's what you expect. Does it have cliched plot elements? Sure, lots of them. Again, you kind of figured that going in. My point is, while this might not be the next great family flick, it does enough to rise above the sea of mediocrity we're used to drowning in. Sonic the Hedgehog is a free and easy watch for children, and even for adults. The core cast is clearly having a great time, longtime Sonic fans like myself will get their fill of Easter eggs, and the 2 credit sequences promise a sequel that could really go all in with this universe. It has its low points for sure, but it's also got its highlights, like the way Sonic's speed is depicted and the exhilarating final action scene. A solid showing that has me excited for whatever comes next. I give Sonic the Hedgehog a B. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you liked the video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel for similar content because that would really help me out. You can also follow me on Twitter at MiamiMovieMan, and if you want to keep up with what I'm watching, then go ahead and look me up on Letterboxd as well. I'm the Miami Movie Man, and I'll see you in the next video.